This video is for you if you've lost belly fat or body fat before and you want to learn how to keep that belly fat off forever so it never comes back. It's hard enough to get rid of that belly fat in the first place, but it's also a battle to keep it off. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. If you're the type of person that's trying to learn how to build muscle, how to lose body fat and get in shape, this YouTube channel is going to help you out. So if you click the subscribe button and click the little bell with it as well, then you'll get notified when I upload new videos. Stay to the end of this video. I've got a cool bonus tip that's going to help you make sure you don't gain that body fat back, so you're not going to want to miss that. Recently in my videos I've been listing out what we're going to talk about. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm noticing not everybody's staying to the end of the video. If you're one of those people, there's not much point in clicking on a video if you only want to receive 30% of the information. You're missing out on 70% of information that you didn't know. So let's talk about this. So how to lose belly fat. First we're going to talk about that, just to give you a quick overview of how to actually lose belly fat. Then we're going to move on and talk about maintenance calories. We're going to talk about a combination of a few fat loss tricks. Then we're going to talk about what type of training that you should be doing if you want to lose body fat or keep the body fat off, should I say. And then we're just going to finish off with the bonus tip at the end. First of all, you can't spot reduce body fat. So when we talk about losing belly fat, your body will choose where you take body fat from depending on genetics. You really can't decide, you can't do an exercise, you can't use a cream, you can't do anything to choose where you lose body fat from. Your body will take it from your hands, from your arms, from your belly, from anywhere it wants to take it from. But if you get lean enough, then the body part that you want to get leaner will actually come in and the body fat will start to be reduced in that area. I have other videos on how to lose belly fat, but I'm going to give you a real quick overview. So we have the calorie deficit, we have the maintenance calories, and we have a calorie surplus. If you are eating in the maintenance calories, this is the amount of calories that you will eat per day that will maintain your weight. So you won't gain any weight, you won't lose any weight. So if you ate at maintenance calories for a year and you was 170 pounds at the start of the year, you would be 170 pounds there or thereabouts at the end of the year. If you eat in a calorie surplus, these two probably should be the other way around, but it's the same concept. If you eat in a calorie surplus, then basically that means you're eating more calories. That means you're going to gain weight. So if you was 170 pounds, you ate in a calorie surplus for the whole year, you could be 190 pounds by the end of the year. If you eat in a calorie deficit right here, that means you're eating less calories. That's how you lose body fat, because if we're eating less than the maintenance calories that we need to function every day, the body still needs to make up those extra calories. So if we're eating 500 calories less in the calorie deficit, the body still needs that 500 calories because calories are just energy. So basically what your body will have to do is start breaking body fat down to make up for the lack of calories that you have. If you need to lose body fat before we're talking about actually keeping the weight off, which is what the video is about, take your body weight in pounds, times that by 10 to 12, eat that number of calories per day. That's a really rough estimate and a really good guide as to how many calories you need to eat per day to lose body fat. Eat that many calories a day for about 5 to 8 weeks, and then come back to this video, drop me a comment, and we'll talk about what we can do next. So tip number one, to keeping the body fat off, you have two options. So if you're into the bodybuilding, the weight training side of things, obviously you want to bulk up, you want to be eating more calories, and if you want to eat more calories to build more muscle, you're also going to gain more body fat. But if you want to keep the amount of body fat you currently have and stay lean, what I recommend you do is do around a 6-week bulk and then do a few weeks of cutting so that you come back down to your original body fat. So for example, if you weigh 170 pounds, bulk up to 175 and then cut down to 170 again. So you'll have a little more muscle and you'll be around the same leanness. If you're not into the weight training side of things and you've just lost some weight and you want to learn how to keep it off, the best thing you can do is eat in the maintenance calories basically for the rest of your life. Now if you have a special event, maybe a holiday, a vacation, a wedding, somewhere that you're going to be where you know you're going to actually go off the rails a little bit in terms of your nutrition and you're going to gain a few extra pounds, don't worry about that. All you do is at that point eat a little extra calories, so you'll be eating in that calorie surplus as we talked about before for that week or however long it is. And then what you do is when you've come back from that break, whatever reason it was, then you just go in a calorie deficit for 1 to 2 weeks to get back to your original, and then you carry on eating in the maintenance calories. A good estimate to find out your maintenance calories is take your body weight in pounds multiplied by 15, eat that many calories per day. What I recommend doing is weighing yourself at the start of each week or the end of each week, maybe on a Sunday or a Monday, and then you'll be able to find out where your weight is at. Now obviously if you're a female, periods, or for some women the menopause could play a factor in the fluctuation of your weight, so don't pay too much attention to that. But over the course of certainly 2 or 3 weeks, your weight shouldn't really be going up or down much. If it seems to be going up, then just reduce the calories by 100 or 200. If it seems to be going down and you don't want it to go any further down, then up your calories by 100 to 200. That will be your maintenance calories, and you'll be able to eat that number of calories basically for the rest of your life. For tip number 2, I've compiled loads of different fat loss tricks that you can do to maintain your current weight or even lose more body fat if you wanted to. The most important thing when it comes to fat loss, most people think it's cardio. What exercises should I do? What cardio should I do? What supplement should I take? It's not. It's all about nutrition. It's all about eating nutrient dense foods and eating in a calorie deficit, or in your case eating at maintenance calories to maintain your weight. It's all about eating a sustainable nutrition plan, and this is what I call it, because often people say I'm going on a diet. The problem with going on diets is if you get on something, you're implying that you have to come off of it. Like for example, if I get on a roller coaster, I have to get off the roller coaster. It's the same with a diet. So that means if you're not consistent enough with it, then you're going to get off that thing, and then you're going to return to the state you was in before you started the diet. That's why I don't like the idea of a diet, and I like the idea of a sustainable nutrition plan. So what does that look like? A sustainable nutrition plan should be 80 to 90% nutrient dense foods. When we talk about nutrient dense foods, we mean from proteins, things like pasture raised eggs, grass fed beef, chicken. You can also have vegetarian or vegan proteins if you want. Oats, sweet potatoes, pasta, rice, carbohydrates like that. And then for your fats, things like almond butter, almond milk, nuts, avocados, coconut oil, healthy fats like that. When it comes to your nutrient dense foods, also adding green leafy vegetables is a good idea. That's 80 to 90% of your nutrition every single day. The other 10 to 20% is things that are not necessarily the most healthy foods, things like bread, things like even chocolate, and I actually want you to have that in your nutrition plan. The reason is because the sustainability. If you have a chocolate bar at the end of one of your meals, if you have a little bit of ice cream, and this is the key though guys, it has to be fitted into your daily calories. So you can only have it if you can fit that into the calories that you are supposed to eat each day. But adding those things makes it sustainable. You can do that for years because it doesn't feel like you're restricting yourself, and you can still maintain, or like I said before, even lose weight if you wanted to. The problem is a lot of people are recommending strict diets, and the truth is most people can't stick to it. It's not enjoyable for them. If 80 to 90% of your food is really healthy and you're just having 10% of treats per day, then that's good because you're going to be able to stick to that long term. I also want you to cut out almost all sugar other than in your 10% of your treats. So all of your other meals shouldn't have much sugar in them at all, because that's really going to make you gain weight eating sugar. The other thing is sticking to 3 meals per day. We don't want to be eating snacks. There was a myth a long time ago that we should eat 6 small meals a day. That's a really, really bad idea. It's terrible advice. But what we want to do is eat 3 meals a day. The reason we don't want snacks in between those meals is because of insulin. Every time we eat, we spike insulin. And insulin's not this terrible hormone that people make it out to be. But the truth is it will block fat burning, and it can make you gain weight. If you had a group, let's call them group A, and they ate 2,000 calories a day, 3 meals a day, split those calories into 3 meals, and you had group B that ate 2,000 calories a day also, but ate 6 meals a day and split their calories up into 6 meals. Group B, the ones with the 6 meals, would gain more weight or lose less weight than the group A, which just had 3 meals. Any treat that you want to have, anything that fits into that 10% we talked about, then you have that immediately after your meal. And when I say immediately, I mean immediately after it. If you wait 30 minutes and then have it, that's going to spike your insulin. You're getting 2 insulin spikes. So all you do is, if you're having a chocolate bar or some ice cream or whatever that thing is for you, then eat that right after one of your meals. This leads me into my next point, which is only drink water and black coffee throughout the day. If you want to drink anything extra, I want you to class that as a treat. If you want a sugary drink, which really try to get out of the habit of drinking those, but if you really want to do that, again, have that after a meal so you don't get the additional insulin spike, and that does count towards your 10% of unhealthy foods, or in this case, drinks. Tip number 3, the types of training that I want you to do is definitely weight training. In my opinion, all men and women on the planet should be doing some form of weight training. You don't even have to take it that seriously. You don't have to do 3, 4 1-hour workouts a week. You don't have to do that. You can just do 15 minutes 3 times a week. You're not going to get crazy results from that, but you're still going to build a few extra pounds of muscle. You're going to be healthier. You're going to feel better. You're going to be happier. You're going to look better. There's so many benefits to training and lifting weights. You're going to live longer. I could go on and on and on about that. But the point is, weight training is probably the best exercise in the world that you can do. If you don't know where to start, I have loads of videos on this, and actually the last video that I did, which is linked in the description below if you can't find it, or if you just want to search on my YouTube channel for the 4 top exercises that I personally recommend that everybody should be doing, then you can start with that plan. And like I said, you can just be doing a few sets a week to start out with, and you never know, 6 months from now, you might actually start really getting into the weight training side of things and want to actually have a full plan. The other type of exercise I recommend to stay lean is cardio. So the first thing you do when you wake up, before you've eaten anything, just have some water, go downstairs and go and do a 60-minute walk. If you can only, you're a really busy schedule, you can only get 30 minutes in, then so be it. But really 60 minutes is the best scenario. You're going to feel much happier, and this is part of the whole thing as well. It's not all about lifting weights, getting bigger muscles, getting leaner. It's not all a vanity thing. It is about feeling happier, having a better life, as well as actually looking better. It's not all about just the way that you look, the aesthetics of it. So what I recommend doing is getting up and going for a walk. Personally, the way I like to split my walks up is, I live in England where there's actually quite a lot of nature and things, so I'm quite lucky when it comes to that. But I recommend a 30-minute walk. Just taking in nature, you're going to feel so much happier. You're going to set yourself up for a productive day for whatever you have to do work-wise. And then what I actually recommend is spending the last 30 minutes listening to some sort of audio book or YouTube channel. There's so many audiobook apps that you can use. There's one called Audible and one called Blinkist. I actually use Blinkist. I don't make any money from telling you that. I don't have any links that you can click. I'm just telling you what I personally use. What Blinkist do is they actually take a whole book and summarize those points into maybe 15-20 minute segments, and for me that's a really good way to learn, because what I've noticed about people in the fitness industry is they focus so much on their physique, and they don't focus on their mind, and they don't focus on all around their own happiness and their life in general. They just focus on the way they look, and they spend so much time on it, but they forget all the other areas of life. And if you actually look around, most people either have one or the other. You have people that have really good physiques, healthy, look good, but they're not the most intelligent. They don't make the best life choices. And then you have the people that are very, very intelligent, make good career decisions, things like that, but they're not healthy. They're not a healthy person. They don't look good, they don't feel good. And for me, the goal is to have both. You don't want to have one or the other. You want to be smart, making good decisions, and be healthy and happy as well. So for the bonus tip that I promised you, I actually recommend doing intermittent fasting. I have videos on this, benefits of this, and it's going to help maintain your weight, which is the goal of this video. But it's also going to have tremendous health benefits as well. If you don't want to do intermittent fasting, and first of all, I just recommend everybody try intermittent fasting for 2 weeks. Just give it a go. You've said you've done it. If you like it, you carry on. If you don't like it, then don't carry on. But even if you don't want to do intermittent fasting, just commit to not eating your first meal immediately. So when you wake up, don't immediately go and eat breakfast. Wait 1 to 3 hours. If you feel hungry right away, I promise you, after 15 minutes of waiting and having a glass of water, you're not going to be hungry anymore. So just wait 1 hour to 3 hours, anywhere in that range if you don't want to do intermittent fasting. And that's just going to shorten the time between meals, because if we're eating 3 meals a day, you don't want to have massive gaps between the meals.